I mean, when you're talking about this time in your life, the 2018, when you're experiencing success, not broken success,
Yeah.
in your words, what are you learning at that time? Like, we kind of know what you're learning, but what's your process of
Getting out of it.
of figuring it out even before
Letting
you try and
go.
get out of it?
Letting go of my hold onto what it needs to be. That was the ego. The ego was like, it's supposed to be like this though, and it's supposed to be what it is, you know? And once I let go of all of that, and then that's why I came out with Shake the Snow Globe, because I realized I just needed to reset and unjade. I was like, man, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. Like it's what it's supposed to be. And as long as I'm still operating from a place of love and a place of wanting to share, I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah.
It'll be what it needs to be, you know?
And that time is also what led to the book in 2019. It's all in your head.
Which it was all in my head. A lot of times in my life, I kind of sometimes accidentally speak things into existence. So I had the title of It's All in Your Head for years. Like I always had this idea of writing that. From a positive standpoint, obviously, like, you know, manifesting and self-belief and all those things. But it's funny that I had this title, It's All in Your Head, right? You're your own worst enemy or your own biggest fan. You pick whatever it is. And then while I have this title, 2018 happens and I'm losing to myself mentally. You know, I had to snap out of it, you know? So it was just one of those things where I needed to like listen to my own advice and be like, bro, it's all in your head now, you know, like, but now on the negative side.
Yeah.
But it's a choice at this point. Do you want to fight everything and fight the whole world, or do you want to let it go?
Yeah. And was writing the book quite therapeutic in that? Because I almost feel like when you're writing a book called It's All in Your Head, it's far more simpler to go inward because you're kind of dealing with topics and themes that work for you. What was the biggest thing that you put in the book that you felt was what helped you overcome and work
Man,
through
that
some
whole
stuff?
book, and especially the process of it, it was like an interview. So I had this woman who would come and she had the tape recorder, and I had all the chapters mapped out, like what I was, you know, because it was all song titles. So I knew what the chapters were going to be. I knew what I was going to talk about. I just needed somebody to help me organize all my thoughts. So she would come with the tape recorder and just we would go chapter by chapter, and she would say, okay, we'll talk about manifesting, what it means to you. And I would just talk. And so it was really like a week and a half of therapy sessions. And then we organized all of it together. And I, you know, did my stuff and whatever. And it was like, man, this was it. That's why I love that book, because it's really me. Like that was me talking to a therapist for a week and a half in a book.
I love, And how amazing is that people have that accessible to them.
Right.
Because if everyone could have a diary of them being in therapy,
Right.
I think that'd be phenomenal. Like, to be able to look back and work through it. You've mentioned manifestation a few times, and I think you've taught us some really, in my opinion, again, very personal and refreshing ways.
Yeah.
We hear about the word a lot, and randomly, you're obviously someone who believes it, lives it, knows it, is experiencing it. What is the process that you have practiced for you that has worked for you that others could understand? Because I think there's a lot of like misconceptions around it. But for someone who it's working for and someone who believes in it, how would you describe it for yourself?
It's that knowing thing you were talking about. It's not necessarily just seeing it, oh, I can see myself with money, and then that's it. Now you're gonna get money. It's more so knowing it and also feeling it, and not just like, excuse me, not just, oh, like I said, you can see the beach house you bought your mom. It's what does it feel like though? What does it feel like when you see your mom's reaction to getting the beach house? And can you feel that? Can you feel the car turning the corner to the beach house? It's about immersing yourself in that feeling as if it was going on right now. And when you do that on a daily basis, it's not long before reality catches up with your thoughts, you know? And like I said, it just has to be something you believe and buy into, this whole theory, you know? If you believe that we are just the universe experiencing itself and, you know, we're all in tune and connected to the infinite and all these things, then you're going to be fine as far as this, you know, method goes. But if you don't, then it's not for you, you know? And God bless.
Was that the best thing you manifested?
The beach house? It was one of them for sure, but just like this whole career, man, just this whole life was a complete product of law of attraction, but also being proactive. I wasn't just sitting
That's what I was
there.
gonna ask you.
Yeah, no, you don't just like click your heels and go back to Kansas. You know what I mean? Like it's
Tell us about the work. Tell us about the
yeah,
product, the actual like. So we get it, the immersion, the feeling. Which,
yeah,
and I know you're doing the other part too. Tell us about the strategy, the networking,
yeah,
the actual skill,
yeah.
because you have to have a skill, right?
Well, skill can get developed, you know. Skill is developed. I was not the most skilled when I started at all. All of it sucked. So, you know, you develop skill through repetition and through practice and putting in the work. But yeah, I don't think people understand that you actually need to put in the work and be persistent. You just also have to couple it with a very positive mindset. But, you know, Will Smith talks about the concept of, and I've like mentioned this a lot, like laying a brick a day until you have a wall.
Mm.
You know, I think his dad took them, you know
Yeah,
the story I'm talking about, and
yeah,
they
yeah.
like did the brick a day. Like, how are we gonna build a wall? And you go out there and you lay a brick a day. So I really resonate with that whole story and concept. And I think it's really true. I think a lot of people are just focused on the whole bigger picture and like, how am I gonna be this famous musician? Like, I haven't even made a song yet. It's like you're not supposed to be thinking about like all that to the point where it's daunting and crippling. You're just supposed to, you know what? I know I'm gonna get there. I can feel what it's like, but in the meantime, I'm gonna lay a brick a day. I'm gonna make a song a day, or make a beat a day, or find samples every day, or study every day. Like as long as you're doing something towards the bigger picture, a small thing every day, you're good.
That's
Yeah,
real. That's
yeah,
real, and that's how it has to be built.
yeah.
Everyone always think it's like that. The wallet analogy that you're talking about, you kind of just turn up. I was thinking about that one day. I was looking out into the city of LA, and I was just thinking like someone had to think about this.
Right.
I was in Dubai recently. I was thinking the same. It's like it's just a desert.
No, it's a bunch of ideas.
Yeah, and someone had to think about it first. Like they would have looked out onto like desert
Yeah.
and had to think about it, but we don't think about that because we walk into a city.
You walk into like that's what I find fascinating is that every day you're walking around in somebody's idea. That's how you know thoughts are powerful. Like we're sitting in like this chair was somebody's idea to make it look like this and the cushions to be this soft and these shoes. Like you're just constantly surrounded by other people's ideas. And I think the really cool thing about free will is contributing your ideas back into the infrastructure of what's already going on.